Niyama number 3. So once again, the niyamas are about us and about our personal self, internally and externally. So tapas really talks about, interestingly enough, tapas in Spain means to eat, right? So what happens is that in a world, in our Western world, here in the United States, we have the most toxic food in all of the world because we are the mecca for fast food, and all fast food is toxic-filled food. So interestingly enough, when you go to Europe, you won't ever find fast food because they do not allow it. They also have a higher lifespan than we do. Right? So the United States is number 30. You figure that for us being so high in terms of one of the most richest countries in the world, that we would have our health be and our longevity be the same. But we're number 30 in the world, guys. There's only 50 states in the U.S., right? And in the U.S., in the different states, California is not very high. But in the world, we rank number 30, right? And we should be ranking number 1. If we're the number 1 richest nation in the world. But the richer this nation becomes, the more toxic we become. And that's because of our choice of food. So when you're working with the niyamas, you basically want to detoxify your body all the time. And nowadays, we are so toxic that we need supplemental help. Let me give you an example. We have heavy metal toxins and we don't even realize that. Why? Because here in the U.S. as well as many places like right in the third world countries, they use metal to fill our teeth. And that metal actually has been known to cause brain cancer. Okay? So if you have a mouth that's got metals in it, you're already toxic. Right? So you have to realize that. And it's interesting because in Europe they don't allow dentists to use metals at all. If somebody comes from Europe, you'll never see their cavities filled with metal. They don't drink fluoridated water because fluoride is a chemical that actually creates a slow lobotomy. It makes you dumber, if you will, right? So there's a lot of things that we don't, that we have to be careful for. And let's go into eating meat. The cows nowadays are actually raised in feedlots. A feedlot is where a whole bunch of cows are together in one place, and they're pretty much tied, and in front of them they have a feed, like this bar or this container, right, of feed, and in that feed they actually grind up corn, dead animals, and a lot of other stuff. So what happens is the cow eats that, which, by the way, cows are meant to be vegetarians. They're not meant to be carnivores. They eat that. It goes into everything that we eat. All our toxicity, as well as the animals, goes into the muscles. And what do we eat when we eat a cow? The muscle area, right? Rump roast, breast, all of that. And then the best part is that all of their innards and lots of other stuff get all ground up, and that's what they make hamburgers out of. Right? So every time you eat a hamburger, unless you're eating a hamburger from a grass-fed free range, now notice it has to say grass-fed free range, you're actually creating more toxicity and toxic buildup in your system than you ever even wanted to. And this only started happening about 15 years ago. So how old were you 15 years ago? About 4, maybe 5. So up until that time, you guys were not exposed to as much toxins as you are now, right? So grandparents come from where they cooked their own food, and and everything was fresh, chopped it up, put it in a pan, did whatever they did, and then they didn't use microwaves, right? Nowadays, not only are you eating fast, but you're microwaving fast. So you're killing every single one of your things. By the way, if you have that homework done, you need to get that to me, that microwave homework that I told you guys. That's homework. It needs to be in that journal. So if you haven't started it, you got to start it, okay? Because once again, I'm collecting journals the week of May, actually it'll be May 7th or something like that, right? 6, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, right? 6. May 6th, I'll be collecting journals. Final journals, May 6th. Okay? So what we have to be careful is that we need to detox our body. So Tapas talks to us about detoxing our bodies. And how do we detox our bodies? We detox our bodies by the food we eat, by doing, it doesn't talk about it here, but doing enemas, and also doing the right supplements that we need to use to detox the body and to heat it up. So some people don't like to sweat. Anybody ever heard that? I don't like to sweat. Right? But the more you sweat, the better it is for you because it detoxes your body. When we do the asana and we do the twists, what it does is it brings out the intestine. Right? So it brings out the intestine and it helps to move the toxins through your body. Right? So a lot of people will ask me, well, what do I do for my good skin, right? They always ask me, oh my gosh, you have such pretty skin and all of that, right? So I eat healthy. I don't ever eat fast food, and I don't ever eat anything that comes out of a microwave. I don't eat meat. Personally, I don't eat meat. I just don't like it. I eat chicken and fish, organic, wild caught, never farm raised fish. You don't ever want to eat farm raised fish, right? Let's see, and I wash with non-paraben, so I wash with USANA Sensei stuff. No parabens, no phthalates, so that it doesn't, because your biggest organ is your skin. So whatever you put in your skin goes in, and it's got to be detoxed out. I take supplements for my liver to always help me, right? And every once a week, I do just a liquid, clean out liquid diet, right? And that's just what I do for the toxins. And I work out every day. I sweat. I make sure I sweat every day. Right? So you make sure you sweat every day. Today I've already sweated 2 times. I taught 2 spin classes already, so I already sweated 2 times. And then I sat in the sauna, I sweated more. Okay? So always talking about that. So the Tapas talks to us about keeping this body healthy. Interestingly enough, the other day my husband says, honey, I want you to come over and meet this person. And I said, okay, and I'm walking over there and I see this old person. And I'm thinking, I wonder how he knows him. He's so old. So, I met him. I didn't ask a lot of questions. We just chatted a little bit. And when we got back to the car, I said to my husband, I said, honey, how old is he? Oh, he's younger than me. I go, what? I was like, whoa. I said, how old is he? He said, he's only 47. I said, oh my God, he looks 67. He was already using a cane. Right? Bad knees, using a cane. Poor food choices, bad knees, not exercising,